afternoon, guys. You're welcome to our time and the couch.
Take it back. Action. Action. No going back.
Yes. So we're reaching you today because today, finally, an announcement was made announcing a winner of the presidential election that took place Saturday last week, right? And you know we participated, and we participated very, very well. Yes, to the extent that we got a very, very sizable chunk of votes. I will explain that to you in a matter of in minutes, but we just want to let you know that yes, election took place, but a certain, a number of things happened. One, this election has the lowest number of participants, turnout in the history of elections in Nigeria in the last 20 years, meaning that, whatever it was, nobody was attracted to the election. It seems that a lot of people knew the outcome. Secondly, it looks like people are getting tired of elections. It has become a revolving door of, misery. And also, they made it impossible for people to participate. This idea that we shoot anybody outside or outside of the election got a lot of people scared. And we saw it happen in our own place. So what then became the outcome of the election? That's what you're likely to hear from us today, is that the election, in my view, was transparently a sham. It's the most transparent sham in Nigeria's history. And I'm saying it, a lot of the trolls out there are not going to be happy about it. But this is a time in the history of Nigeria that anybody else has got conscience must stand up and stand with what they believe in. This is a period for conscientious objectors. If you are not part of the sham, if you don't encourage sham, simply because some people are very loud about that, you can't endorse the sham. And one of the areas where this sham was very transparent is 3 places that I noted, and you guys can jump in and say, first is the number of cancelled votes. 2.something million votes were cancelled. Nobody's votes, who knows whose votes were cancelled? It could have been our votes. Yes, it could have been people that voted for us or voted for other candidates. Secondly, is those votes that came from Borno, where bombs were raining the morning of the election. Suddenly, some 3 hours later, everybody came out of hiding and they were just voting. Not minding the fact that more bombs could come. And then Yobe, where more votes, it had higher number of voter turnout than they did in places like Lagos and Osun. So what you then saw was that another thing we noticed is like parties that did not participate in the election, whose presidential candidates had already capitulated, were getting high number of votes. So coming to us, we did very well. The way I judge us is how new we are. We came in some 6 months ago as a political party, a year ago. Of all the new presidential aspirants, I think we're the latest entrants, known to the public. I'm not talking about presidential aspirants who declared in their bedroom and stayed there. I'm talking about the ones that came out to the public. And see what we did. We had those votes. But we were able to prove something. The fact that the people who organized the debate, the sham debate, lied because they said, we're not as popular as Kingsley, Fela, and you now see the votes and you can tell that we did way better than them. And that justifies our position that we were deliberately skimmed out of debate. But even though we didn't participate in debate, we still did better than people who participated in a debate because that robbed that debate of its legitimacy. So we want to thank you guys. The results are out. You know how it is. They call it abracadabra. Like Fela would say, people don't go vote. You get big numbers.
Government magic.
Government magic. Government magic. So they turn blue into red. Government magic. So, but I want you guys to also chime in. But before we go, how many people are watching?
1,000.
See,
Boom.
Give them a round of
Take it back. Take it back.
Action. Action.
No going back.
So you can
There's
see
somebody out there is not going back with the idea.
and if you are in doubt about the fact that our members are with us and they are in high spirits, that's how you know. The number of people that are watching. The last time we came on here, there were 4,000 people watching, and we hadn't even announced the results. So we want to thank you guys so much for being such very dedicated followers, supporters, and members. And I'm sure a lot of you are also candidates. And we still have one more election to go next Saturday. We have governorship election. We have governors in Ogun State. We have in Lagos. We have in Imo State. We have in Oyo. We have in Adamawa.
Delta.
We have in Delta. We have in Rivers State. So now you have a chance to choose between the parties. Now you know the parties upon which votes were wasted. Yes. Those of you are talking about wasting votes. You know who you wasted your vote. If you voted for Atiku and you thought you were not wasting your vote, see it now.
Even if you voted for Buhari.
Even if you voted for Buhari, it's still waste of votes. Because there's nothing Buhari has got to offer you. There's no next level. Next level is fraud. Next level is the same level of deceit, level of corruption, same level of lack of infrastructure, lack of education, terrorism is level of insecurity. It's next level of everything bad. Yes, poverty.
High school fees.
Yes.
No hospitals.
So guys, I want you guys to jump in. Do you guys have anything?
One thing that actually inspired me is how people started talking about Sowore 2023.
Yeah.
Immediately they saw the result, everybody just jumped out there and started saying Sowore 2023. I'm like, wow, this is interesting.
I think one other thing that I like for us is that, and I think BBC did this very well, of saying, look, these are the 5 political parties we are dealing with. 2 of them belong to the analog parties, 3 of them the digital people. Because these are people, you have to give it to Kingsley, Mogalu, and Fela. They actually all came out, to stand out for something that they believe in. But in our own case, we were very clear where we stood, on minimum wage, on corruption, education, on infrastructure, on job creation. We're very clear. And we didn't know that BBC was taking account of this. So when you see all those parties, PCP got votes that people who mistook PCP for PDP voted for PCP. That's what PCP, because even the presidential candidate of PCP had already endorsed Atiku. Yes. The other ones are, they also allocate numbers so that we don't become third. They said SDP too. Donald Duke had been expelled as a candidate of SDP before the election.
Is the lady who contested?
Obi had already left. No, Obi didn't. Obi didn't. I'm talking about parties that might seem to be above us.
Okay.
Yeah. But as it stands, we are the ones that did fantastic. There's no question about the fact that people know that if there's any one party in this election that was distinctly different from others, it was AAC. Yes. And we did that within 6 months. Just 6 months, yes.
Yes,
Take it back. Action.
So many of you who were donors on GoFundMe, they actually said we shouldn't close down the GoFundMe account. We should just rename it to be so that we start contributing to. But as far as I'm concerned, 2019 is ended. We will start when we need to start, and that will be after a wide consultation. We also would like to still visit and meet with all of our outposts there within and outside Nigeria, so as to re-strategize.
For me, I think that a movement has developed.
Yes.
I'm actually going to quote from one of our comrades, wrote in a chat group today, Afyong, where she has emphasized that what we are facing is a systemic problem. A system has been put in place to enslave the people, and it will require a movement of the people to smash this system. And I think what the AAC has achieved is to demystify the entire process.
Yes.
Because to the masses, many people are actually, in crisis of knowing how can we take on this monster. But we have proven beyond reasonable doubt that this monster can be defeated.
Yeah.
Even with little money. Even with little, because they've said, oh, this is a billionaires club, this is so many things. But what we are saying, and to all the other activists also, which is an indictment to the other activists who have over the years sold their conscience to the devil, that look, it's not compulsory that you follow one of these two monsters of a party that's leading the country into barbarism, but that we can actually stand alone and take them on. And that's the only grounds upon which the people can actually, be rallied around. And they say that a people united can never be defeated. And I think that is the spirit. And again, the only time we'll fail is when we actually give up. This is the time to know that yes, this can be done. And what is needed is for us to actually persevere, because it's not a sprint. It's not a 100-meter dash. This is a marathon, and they are going to test your, they are going to test your stamina, test several things in the marathon race. And within this context, it's necessary for everybody that wants to fight, be on the side of progress, to remain steadfast. These elements are going nowhere. The new regime that they just imposed, because I saw there was a picture today showing Buhari carrying a trophy, and somebody put there, both ballot box snatcher. That they got the award for ballot. That's the trophy for ballot box. So this regime of ballot box snatchers is not actually going to bring about the desired change that the average man on the streets wants. The problems are going to grow. That one is certain. This rigging, we at least within the platform of the AAC have actually alerted the world that a rigging process has started. They put to what extent they went. Apart from the killings over the weekend, over 270 Nigerians officially lost their lives. The ones unofficially, we don't know.
About 500.
In Oshodi, we know how many ballot boxes were smashed. That's in Oshodi alone.
Caught on camera.
And that's the story around the place. Before now, the election was shifted by how many days? The CGN went for it, in spite of, and we can go on and on. Is it the rigging of the debates that we want to talk about, or up towards, returning, this regime? This regime, what way forward what are we going to expect? I don't think that the unemployed are going to get jobs. I don't think that the Naira is going to remain at its value. And I don't think that Nigeria, because they have already been saying that the price of fuel is going to
come down.
It's definitely not. Somebody even came over the weekend that Naira is now one.
That was a fraud figure for Google. I don't know how they put that up.
And what we can say is that look, we have no choice but to remobilize and know that until these people are booted out of power,
there's no hope. And this is to address so many of you who are already offering suggestions. Keep the suggestions coming. People have suggested if you have electronic voting, but if you are voting electronically and the person in charge of the cloud is Bola Tinubu, you are going to get the same result. As they say in computer, garbage in, garbage out. But here is one thing that I'm very sure of. If anything, the Buhari regime will make it faster for Nigerians to wake up. Because if Atiku had won, he will still have excuse of 2 years. I met an empty treasury, and there will be sympathy, there will be confusion as to whether it's true he wants to act. But in case of Buhari, people know that he came with a whip, and those of you who voted for him, you have just put out your back outside there, and you get it. It's a matter of time whether the whip of unemployment, of his ethnocentric, bigoted, religious, fanatical. One will touch you, that of the headsman, or that of what he would do to university professors who because of election, they honor the agreement, or the labor who are going to be negotiating whether to get 27,000 or 30,000. Something will touch everybody. You get your comeuppance. It's very obvious. You don't need it. Yes. Should state that there's no cover left. So continuation of non-payment of salaries on those states whose money was spent in the Kitty election. You will get it. So for me, it's actually going to be easier to galvanize people. That's why our movement and our party must not slack at all. If we're going to take a break, it should be just a few hours of break. Let's go back to the grassroots, start organizing. I have to say this, and this is important for me, that I probably got more congratulations than Buhari. True. Buhari is the one who won. Action. But more people, I just kept waking up and people say congratulations. I'm not the one who won. You won because you ran the best race. Yes. You ran the most clinical race. You ran a clean, transparent race. You defined how to confront the system, how to demystify it, and you traveled everywhere. You touched everybody, you talked to everybody, you met with everybody. You even introduced town hall meetings that eventually became the standard for political engagement in the country. And to top it all, this whole argument about who is superior between, I don't want to have a superiority conversation, but those who were saying that, you should have matched with Mogalu, matched with Fela, now you know who should have matched with who, right? And like I said, I respect this gentleman, and we hope they join us. Now that they know.
We are the ones to join.
Yes, we are the ones to be joined. And we are lucky that we control our political, destiny. We have our own party. And we can keep redefining how best to re-engage or engage. And we can do a reset, we can do a default setting. We can go back, whichever way digitally this is necessary, we will. And I must keep thanking all of you. All of you are supporters inside and outside of the country. We saw that some of you have left our groups either in despondency or anger. Don't worry, you'll be back, we're sure. But most people, interestingly, have stayed with us. They haven't left, and they kept saying, look, it's our time, it's going to be our turn next time. And trust me, next time can be shorter than 4 years. These guys are going to mess up so bad. They'll be looking for us. Please come and, like I said, place yourself in a position where you can lead the revolution because one is coming. I don't know when, but it's inevitable. There's no way, this country cannot continue like this. We're a country that is built on fraud. Like I said it at one of our campaign debates, that Nigeria was set up as a business until it transitions into becoming a nation. We are wasting our time. This is a business of election rigging that they just carried out. There's one of the departments of the Nigerian business. And they have just closed a deal. And this deal is, this is election time, we rig it, we close it, and you start begging the opponents, come and call me. How can you rig somebody out of election? Even though I have disagreement with Atiku, you understand? But then you are now telling him to call. You're the one who stole somebody's mandate. You are the one who is supposed to be hiding your face. But you are the one who is like, you better call me because I just succeeded in stealing your mandate. Call me because if you not call me, if I catch you, it's so sad, But the sad part is that the other side is not an alternative. It's the reason why we cannot sign up with them and say, but at the end of the day, they are going to rely on us to fight the battle of justice for this country. That's why we must prepare ourselves and start leading the people in the right direction. So that's a small submission there. Yes.
I want to say that first I want to congratulate all members of AAC. Take it back. Action. No going back. Because one beautiful thing in the election was that aside the candidates who voted in the open glare and all of that, we had members who voted only one person voting in a whole unit of about 200, and the person is the only person jubilating in that unit.
Yeah.
You get it? So
exactly.
Our members were dedicated. In almost every unit, you could see that one person voting, happy voting. You get it? And so I want to say that congratulations once again to all our members. I also want to say for those who were using some psychological attacks on us, saying you cannot waste your vote on Sowore. They were saying some social Darwinism, that if you want to defeat your enemy, you have to go and do an alliance with the worst enemy. And you know, they forgot that there's no difference between Atiku and Buhari. And that's why you see that even the people that wasted their votes on Atiku cannot defend that vote. You get it? So he does not have the moral fiber to go and defend that vote, because Atiku and
they both rigged.
They both rigged. Yeah. And even when Obasanjo was even rigging and Atiku was vice president, it was even as horror as this. So they don't have the moral fiber to defend. And that's why you see that most of the guys that went to waste their votes on Atiku, they have already given up as fast as possible. If it is that they have waited on votes on the truth, which we represent, you get it, by now we would have taken over this country by revolution, because
there's no way we can have it 11 million votes.
11 million votes.
And somebody will be asking us to call them.
No. By now they would have even run away. They wouldn't be able to announce.
They will be begging us at that time, call your people to order now.
So it's better you waste your commitment, which the vote actually symbolically represents, you get it, on an idea whose time has already come.
Yeah.
You get it? We are an idea whose time is here now. You get it? The revolution now is on a go slow. You understand what I'm saying? These people fed their bills, and that's why they can't celebrate. In Lagos, where they got 500 every day, all the riggings in Lagos keep reducing.
Yeah.
They scared voters away in Lagos, and this is where somebody had 2 billion vans.
Driving into this compound.
Still,
you cannot get a difference of
the whole billion vans could not get 1 million votes. They couldn't even get 600,000 votes.
You know,
they had to even steal other people's votes.
And that tells you that money politics is expiring.
Yes, money politics is expiring in this country. Where I voted and where I supervised voting in Oktupa local government, so many people voted and were angry and got home because, you know, the last time I carried the money, at least you can cook. But now the money they even gave, people could not even take to Nigerians to get it. So Nigerians should know that election, those who are saying they cannot waste their vote on us, they are ashamed now. And that's one. The second thing is also that we need Nigerians to know that they should go and keep the tapes of everything we said.
Yeah.
On free education, we said we'll give free education at all levels and even pay cost of study allowance to university students. So I asked university students to go and keep that. Yeah. They should go and keep that in their records. Because the Buhari people are very good liars. They were the ones who lied before 2015 that they will make the refineries work and they won't sell the refineries and all of that. They did all that. They sold gas companies. They were even the ones who did not make the refineries work. They started paying subsidy. That's why they have deregulated, and we are paying 145. Right now, they are trying to deny that it's Atiku that will sell NMC, that they won't sell it. Please keep those tapes. You get it, so that in the future and in the nearest future, because just like the current presidential candidate said, it's very soon you will start seeing it. The money they stole to rig this election, the money they spent massively, they cannot sustain it. You get it? So things very soon we start falling massively apart. And finally, I want to call on people, some of you that are watching us from afar, stop watching from afar. Boom. Come to the website of the party.
Register.
www.aacparty.com. Register now. This is the time for you to register.
Yeah.
Each unit that you voted, this is the time for you to start telling people, join this party. Hold meetings. Our meetings are weekly in all our units, in all the wards, everywhere. Start joining the party. This is the time to build for the future. You get it? So finally, for the PDP and the APC and some people, some youths, you know, we had 22 million youths who registered for this election. Most of them did not vote. They were scared and all of that. But the
some of them were playing soccer.
Some of them were playing football and all of that. But the future is now, because very soon these people that are there, we cannot rely on Yahoo, all those small syndicate crimes and all of that again to survive. We need to survive as genuinely as possible. Many of the things we fought for, they used the election to roll it back, and they have started rolling it back. NSAS, you need to remember, we fought NSAS to stand still in this country. They used the election to bring back SARS. And they used that SARS to rig us out. You get it? We are revolutionaries who believe that we won't be blaming the masses for all these woes, because we are not fighting on behalf of the masses. We are fighting alongside with the people themselves. So we are already on ground. We will continue this battle. You get it? So Nigerians should also know that everything we said, we are going to turn into demand. We are going to be demanding for free education at all levels from this Buhari government, because we have the money. We are going to be demanding for free healthcare at all levels that we are campaigning with. Absolutely. Everything we campaign with. We ask workers. Workers should know that the current labor leaders today, most of them have tickets. They are begging for tickets in PDP and APC. We know some people in the trade union leadership who thought that the APC would give them tickets. But if you look at it all around the country, we were the only party who gave trade union leaders free tickets to contest. And that's why I'm using this to campaign for Frank Nsanobi and a lot of our comrades in Delta states, that Delta state people should stop voting between the devil and the deep blue sea. Go and vote for the Delta third force. Look for AAC, you already know us. Vote for the people that will take you to another place. Delta, Osun, everywhere they are voting, especially in the northern zone, you get it. People should come together. So finally, I want to thank you, Nigerians. We can win these people. Their money cannot change them. We can defeat them. Thank you. We are able to prove that. AAC, take it back. Take it back. Action.
Okay, yeah. So many people have been telling us to go to court, but what I think is that the main issue is not to go to court. The main reason is putting our energy and time into something meaningful. The court is owned by the APC.
Yeah.
We discovered how they
quickly do
half of it is owned by PDP.
Yeah, PDP, the PDP and APC own the court, own the police, and own the army. So going to court is just like you.
They can kill you, postpone
it. They'll just keep postponing it.
They did it to us when we went to court for the presidential.
Yeah, they did it.
We finished the day of judgment. The judge suddenly realized that he's out of vacation. You know, the courts are.
We should also be mindful of the psychological warfare.
Yeah.
I think we should know that they have machines in place to sell propaganda, to misinform Nigerians. Like they made Nigerians think that some of the things we were proposing is a scam, that we don't have money. And you know, all these people, some of them invested like 500 million into social media. So they know the psychological warfare is this. Let us make the electorate believe what AAC is saying. So we cannot all be on the barricades, we cannot all be writers, but if you have any type of platform or influence to keep sensitizing Nigerians, I think we shouldn't go on holiday on sensitizing Nigerians. If not, if we now go, they wake up 2021 now, 22. So now when they rush Nigerians, it won't work, because on their social media they have like over 100 social media influencers. They'll just wake up and start one hashtag.
But let me say this. Now that you mentioned social media, let me say this is one thing that we did, and it was a promise we made at the beginning of the campaign, that we will create our own social media influencers. We never had to pay any social media influencer. We were our own social media influencers. And if you look at the fact that you can't find a signboard or billboard we erected in our name because we couldn't afford it, we didn't place any advertisement in any TV station, any radio station, any newspaper because we couldn't afford it. But yet, we were able to penetrate the consciousness.
I won most of the polls online.
Yes. So we created our own social media influencers. The people you used to know as social media influencers in 2015, I'm sure you don't remember their names anymore. Because they were not the ones who played a major role in this election. We created our own. And we were on Instagram, we were on Facebook, Twitter, and we keep asking you, be there to fight the battle as well. Look, they are going to tell you that, oh, you know, Shebi, we told you have more followers on Facebook than you had on the ground. It doesn't matter. It's psychological. The truth is that you cannot even respect the results of an election that is rigged. I can assure you that out of the 200 or 2 million votes that were cancelled, probably they cancelled mostly votes of people like us. So, and you are never going to find out because they know that if Sowore has 2 million votes, that's
symbolic.
Let's just cancel it. Cancel because typically they won't cancel APC votes, and they will not cancel PDP votes. They go for soft targets like us. So until you find out the content of the 2.8 million votes that they claim were invalid, you cannot tell how many votes we really had. And it's psychological, like I said. And you're going to get a lot of them come and turn to your social media. Oh, didn't we tell you so? We told you won't get more than 20k votes. We bet, or even some guy that bets with Etu Mohammed that won't get 20. Etu is asking his money back.
Okay, please return his money.
Etu is like, you owe me 50,000 naira, And he's like, no, I owe you 20,000. I don't remember. I saw the argument
Just
this
pay,
morning.
please,
But
pay.
that's not the issue. It's all psychological welfare to make you feel like, oh, you've lost badly. They don't want you to feel good about yourself. But they are the ones that are hurting. I've never seen anybody who won an election as the one that is hurting really bad. As the Buhari people. If you won an election, you can go and sleep. But this moment you won an election and you have to be defending that you won the election and defending and fighting as if you have not even done the election. There's a problem there.
So let's keep firing. Don't stop.
On all cylinders.
Don't wait for election season before you sensitize people about governance. Let's keep doing it. AAC all day.
And I think the people that casted their vote for PDP will soon be disappointed because all the guys in PDP start jumping to it. So, and they're the ones who lost their votes. Who wasted their votes.
Start
jumping. One thing I want to also raise, which is also necessary, is for particularly to those layers that did participate in this election, is that the reality of our times need to always be put on the front burner. Already, when you rig an election, there's this French saying that you can do anything with the bayonet except sit on it. You can do anything with fake ballot papers except legitimately rule. With it. There's a crisis of credibility already on the agenda. And what happens to a regime that has a problem with credibility? I don't know how it can effectively rule.
It can go.
A constitutional crisis has also developed. The crisis with the CJN has not
been resolved.
It has not been resolved. We are going to have tons of court cases. There's no way upon which everybody now can connect the dots that there's a relationship between the crisis that developed before the elections and what happened after. The election. Can see the whole is clear to everybody now. So people know now that, of course, it's not a matter of fighting corruption with the CJN. We think nobody is defending the CJN here. Nobody can. And in fact, it was shown that was exposed the CJN. And it's on record that in September 2017, the same EFCC wrote a letter officially clearing the same CJN. But of course, now that there are several things at stake, they can come back and say, okay. Of course, if you go to any of the elements within the judiciary, just open the accounts. I'm sure you'll find one or two things that you can use against them. So it's different when you sincerely want to fight corruption. You cannot be a person that is blackmailing. This is not a fighting corruption. This is actually blackmailing people, because you want to actually rig election and turn yourself. So these are the things. On one hand, we have a regime in crisis. On the other hand, you have a program that is not prepared, that's not going to move the society forward. We should ask them. Sowore is proposing the AAC movement. Let me correct myself. Is proposing 100,000 minimum wage, which of course is necessary to eradicate and revitalize the Nigerian economy. You say, no, how much are you offering? As we speak, we can say that many of the states are not going to even pay whatever amounts, because after they have exhausted all the money on these elections, I'm sure they're going to find money to pay. So students also, what is going to happen to both the level
institutions?
The Buhari has also made it clear that he has no business with primary education or whatever.
Why did he make any promise?
So they didn't make any promise. So even the infrastructure that was during the election, they started doing those infrastructure. I can bet if anybody those projects will are going to end very soon. So it's not a rosy picture that we're actually looking at in the country. It's a sad thing. Of course, it's a tragedy comedy. You know, it's a sad thing that's actually befalling us. But we just have to get the layers. What has developed now is that layers of people are coming out to do something. We need to get those young folks out to also start doing something. The people in diaspora are also, I'm sure if we have had the elections and they have had people in diaspora votes, I'm sure the result is going to
be... It's one of the things we have to fight for.
People have to come, start getting...
That would have been 6
Senegal, just like in Senegal.
People must get involved. That's
across the
message.
We're getting questions here for the females in the house to speak up. You know.
I've been questioning her since she talk. They have good experiences.
Yeah, you guys went out. You guys chatted. So say something. I mean,
yes. We're in Delta State for close to a week together.
Grassroots in many states.
Tell us about your experiences.
Okay. Especially your expectation from conversing with people in grassroots to the turnouts. What's your take? What's your take? You know, I'm sure you had a mind state when you were doing grassroots, and now from the reactions, you can also tell. What was your whole conclusion about the movement and the results?
Okay.
I know you're not shy. Come on.
She doesn't want to talk due to the results of the election.
They went to Delta State. I didn't go with them.
Well, you were on the ground. You had
Blessing is saying something.
Okay. Blessing.
I have Blessing.
Yes, I was in Delta State for the grassroots, and I would say it was fulfilling for me because it's something I've always personally thought about, that we can't just keep living like this. And you know, when I was growing up, I always wondered, why is Nigeria like this? And for instance, America, why is it like this? You know, and so when the movement came up and I got to find out about the movement, I just jumped into it, and I would say that it was love at first sight. Let me use that word.
Take it back, action.
You know, so I think, you know, it's a collective thing. We just have to, you know, wake up. It's our responsibility as Nigerians. You know, when we're you know, doing the grassroots, some people tell you, you know, God will do it. Let's keep, you know. But I was always say to them that God has done it.
Yeah.
You know, He has given us everything that we need. He has given us the natural resources, the human resources, and it's up to us. We have to, you know, do something with what God has given us. We can't keep waiting. Nothing gets done by waiting. You have to do something. So it's our responsibility as Nigerians, you know, to wake up to that responsibility and say, because these people, these cabals, these, you know, people in power, they are, I would say, you know, looking at their numbers, they are minority. We are more. We are more. So we have to come together. If you're interested in seeing a better Nigeria, I believe we have the potential as you know, as a nation to be better, to be great. So if you're interested in seeing a better Nigeria, it means that you're interested in this movement, because, you know, that's what this movement stands for. That's what the movement is about. So, you know, as Nigerians, wherever you are, especially as young people, we can't keep being docile. You have to, you know, get up and do what you have to do if you want to see a greater Nigeria. So I'm really happy to be a part of the movement, and, you know, it's been great.
Yeah.
See,
take it back.
One quick thing is it developed because people have been asking about the drone that was shot by the military in my hometown. So we still haven't gotten the drone back, but something interesting happened. The guys in our area wrote a petition regarding that particular polling unit that the drone captured while it was being shot at. And now they've cancelled that unit. Because I'm sure maybe So I think maybe they went and analyzed the drone and found that the drone captured the rigging and they couldn't sustain it. So that drone back for the Nigerian military. We actually held that the guys who came to the village that day were in a ratings who were recruited and they wore the uniform. I think they're entitled to wear any kind of but you know, the idea is to psychologically scare people by putting them in army uniform. They look like soldiers. So we're working to get our drone back, but the unit has been cancelled. That means that the drone did wonders.
That's it. Well done, drone.
Yeah, so we'll work to get our drone back, and the cell phone of the guy who was the drone operator, they seized it as well.
Okay.
So he hasn't gotten a telephone, but we're working on it. Also, very important to let you guys know that we also found out in Lagos that the results of AAC on the feed is different from what eventually recorded in the collation centers.
Wow.
So there's a place where we had 103 votes, and they changed it to 53.
And they didn't present any results sheets in many polling units.
So the rigging strategy that was employed by these guys is so criminal that we just have to keep documenting it, because all of this will haunt them one day, and it's a matter of not years from now. It's a matter of months from now. So that's what I'm reporting back with regards to the drones, and because we're getting a lot of questions from people here, and we may not be able to get to your question. We just want to make sure that we let you know that we're very strong in our life, and we're not discouraged by what happened. We understood how the system has been working. When we came out to dare them, we came out to dare them so that we can break the jinx. That has been done. The disruption we promised has happened, and more people have been emboldened by our style of politicking. But let me tell you, if you're young out there, you think this is not going to happen, you're waiting for somebody to do it for you, nobody will do it for you. We still found out that a lot of good people, quote unquote, did not come out to vote. So actually they were in the majority. So you have to make up your mind.
More than 50 million didn't come out.
Yes, more than 50 million people did not come out. This election has the lowest turnout in history of elections in the last 20 years.
That makes it questionable.
Yes, so you have I think there are only about 28 million votes, and there are 72 million people who collected their PVCs, but 50 million people stayed away. Good people. And they allow 28 people. Out of them,
it's 25.
25.
25. The previous one was 28.
Yeah, okay, this is 25.
This one is 25.
So we're not making progress at all. No progress. This is what they call plenty of motion, no movement.
Yeah.
I think it's still that political education, because people don't understand society is the consequence of votes.
Yes.
They don't understand good road, cheap education, and free education is the consequence of votes.
Yeah.
So that's why I said we shouldn't just slow down our sensitization. Don't say, me, am I talkative? What's it concern? Am I a politician? You don't have to be a politician, you don't have to be a talkative. At least you engage people within your sphere of operation, either business or family.
Yeah.
You might be the one to sensitize your mother. I remember my mom, not just primary school get now. I remember when she was asking about constituency when she was alive. I was in secondary school, they explained constituency to her. And she was around that Jashin time, all those times. So most people don't really understand the basic things we think they know. That's why you see they will argue with you, say, when Nigeria won't get money to do this. Because they don't know the IGR, they don't know the GDP, they don't know what's left, what's right, they don't. So we need to that fire must be every day, even on only your Facebook page if they do it. You must just influence people with real information.
Some people they ask you, say, "Shey na your money that they steal for them."
Yes, some people say, like, why are you so passionate? They say we are emotional people. Like, the thing that they pay.
Nigerian money, as you say, they don't be Nigerians.
Road no good. Where you supposed to go 10 hours?
No, we should
go 25 hours. It's not paying you for what.
I would rather say something.
Okay, well, I want to talk on behalf of the women out there. Yeah. I notice throughout a lot of women are not involved in politics. Yeah. And we are I just want to use this medium to tell you to be involved in politics. Yes. Because we are kind of the head of the house. Please.
And the majority, the population.
You guys are the heartbeats of the children.
So, but we must keep saying that even at AAC, we need more women participating. What we discover is that there are a lot of women in diaspora who are participating in AAC. In fact, majority of our fundraisers are women. But at home, we're finding it difficult to find women. In fact, we have 2 governorship candidates, women. We're the only party who have 2 governorship candidates, Ogun and Imo, participating next weekend. But interestingly, they're also from the diaspora. So we need to get to a point where a female can stand up who has lived in Nigeria, have the courage to stand up, and it's not the female who is traveled abroad and come back, but to be, and we will make sure we do everything we can to get them involved in this election. I know it's kind of a suppression of, females here, official suppression. That who do you think you are? You belong in the kitchen or the other room. We have to do that consciously. What we had promised when we were campaigning was that if we had won, that we'll have a 50-50 cabinet, and we met it. And we'll still make sure that we keep that. Maybe by 2023, more of our female folks would have come out. Because if you guys join, that's added advantage right there, And I tell you something, women are very difficult to suppress, even by soldiers. The moment one lady stands up to 20 soldiers, they just melt out, because it's very difficult for them to justify violence, especially now that you can capture it openly against women. So please use this advantage, come out, continue to support our party. This party is growing very fast. Register. Go to I wanted to correct, you're right about aacparty.com, but we've also changed it to .org. So it's aac.org. Register there, pay your registration fee, donate to the party. Even though we've shut down our presidential donation platforms, you can donate to the party. The party has got its own account. And tomorrow, we'll be with some governorship candidates on the couch in the night to discuss their aspirations and how you can support them, especially Chidi, who is in Enugu, I think Rivers, who is the third person? Delta.
Of Delta.
Yeah, the Delta. And when we get back, we will continue with that next week. So we make sure you support all these guys to achieve our dream of ensuring that we take our country back. So that's just the announcement from our end here. You guys feel free to say your last words. We have about 8 more minutes. Yes, so
I think my own is that thank you so much. With us, thank you. We can say thank you.
We really appreciate you all.
Thank
we
you.
need your support at this time.
Yes,
we do. Don't allow.
You don't have to wait till 2022.
Let's start
Let's keep fighting. Let's keep talking, petitioning the incumbent government.
Fight
Anywhere.
Don't let them get away with this heist,
Yes.
They can steal election, but don't let them steal your dignity.
Yes. Don't let them steal your future.
Yeah, don't let them steal your, and trust me, I know the way they feel. They are not feeling good about it. In fact, I was reading what Buhari released today. If you guys let me check it. When
I'm
he
sure
went
he didn't write it. So.
No.
That
one I can assure you he didn't. That one is for sure. There's no writing anything. But he said something in whatever they wrote for him today. I want to let me read it to you. It's very, very instructive what he had to say in his certificate of return today, after collecting the so-called certificate of returning him to the fraudulent office that he gained. He said, election is not war and should never be seen as a do-or-die affair. I pray that we all accept this democratic approach to elections, however contentious.
They forgot to put on.
Yeah.
On democratic approach.
No, it's already
know it's very,
no matter
how contentious.
They accept that this one is a contentious one. But you know them. I can bet my last cover on it, what they will do. They'll set up a committee. So to look into the election here. and then this committee will then be, investigated by another committee. Because then the first committee would have eaten or embezzled money, and then they would then set up another white paper committee to whitewash the position of the committee. Everybody who rigged an election in Nigeria set up a look at this now. You stole an election. You know what you did in Yobe, Borno. There's no need for committee. The committee's report is already out. But again, guys, you're gonna get people mocking you. Don't feel bad. And like somebody said this morning on Facebook, the 33,000 people that they told us voted for us, we're sure there are more, are the people who refuse to sell their conscience. Yeah. And in some countries around the world, you don't even find 33,000 people who are strong enough to stand alone. Yeah. That we have that here is something we should be very, very proud of. There are people who never collected 200 naira to 5,000 naira. Like you said, that one person who went to a polling booth where 200 people wasted their vote, and he's the only person, but he's the happiest person because he knew that he did what was right or she did what was right. So we want to keep thanking you guys wherever you may be, our supporters, home and abroad. We love you guys, and we know you love us back. And we'll continue to engage with more programming here on the couch. Talk to you if you have any questions. We will answer your questions. You can continue to reach us also offline after we get off this. You have WhatsApp line is 0818 8237 529, right? 0818 8237 529. Oh, are you? Somebody say hello to Kunle Ajayi. Okay. Hello to Kunle Ajayi.
Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Dad.
I know you have recruited people to be asking people to greet you. Well, one last thing we say is there's a member of the house, Miss T. Who is
Happy birthday, Happy birthday, Miss T. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, Miss T.
Yes.
We wish you many happy returns on your day. Long life and prosperity. Hey, take it back. Take it back.
How old are you now?
She'll tell us later.
Yes. Guys, it's 459. It's 4:59. That's what I mean. That's in 1 minute to close this. Do you have any questions? Last questions for us? No. Okay.
Nobody did greet me.
Maybe somebody wants to greet you. All right. If you don't have any more questions, thank you guys for coming on the show today.
AAC, take it back. Take it back. Action.
No going back.
I like the new one when I went with somebody we used to travel with who would say, hey, see, take it back. See.
We had different varieties.
Yes.
We had London one, we had Yankee one, we had the Ibile one.
Thank you guys.